The mission report is taken. It's written by Carmen Azo, and it is entitled as Brazilian Dot Response. Dismayed by news reports of starving people in Africa, Marcelo Ronaldes left a comfortable life in Brazil to provide hard relief in the war-torn countries of Mozambique, Angola, and Iraq. Although only 48, Ronaldes has white hair and a well-lined face that testify to years of arduous humanitarian work amid bomb explosions, intense sun, severe cold, and profounding rain. He wouldn't change a thing. I was very dissatisfied in 1990, even though I had a comfortable life, Dr. said in an interview in the United City of Elbert. When he worked as a director of opera, Kurdistan, I felt desire to help when I saw television images of people dying of hunger in Ethiopia and Somalia, where there was war at the time. I knew God was calling me. His first assignment was to help the Adventist Development of Relief Agency establish food program for people displaced by conflict and drought in 100 villages in Mozambique. The country had been mired in civil war since 1977, and a peace agreement would not be reached until 1992. When I arrived, I realized the situation was more complicated than I thought though. Donald said, but I could not turn back. Much help was needed. He worked in Mozambique for 8 months, and he said that his desire to help others only grew stronger. But a medical emergency involving his mother prompted him to cut short his work related to prison to care for her. His next assignment to Angola brought him to a country in the middle of a 27-year civil war. His first years was horrific as he was desperate. People eat shoes and dead dogs. During the military offensive in 1993, he saved 20 children from starving and bomb blasts by sheltering them in his home in the provincial capital of Malanje in northern Angola. When I saw in the streets was terrible, dozens of children who were only skin and bones dying of hunger, he said, I cannot bear such misery. So I gathered the children whom I met, brought them to my house and fed them. He also worked with honor to place more than 200 orphan children with Adventist families in Malanje. What an inspiration to each one of us, right? The Bible says very clearly that I was hungry, you never fed me. I was thirsty, you never gave me a drink. Most often in these last days as Christians, it's a great lesson to be learned that we also have to follow the footsteps of what the Lord. God bless this lovely person, Dominus, and may we also continue to be a source of inspiration in these last days to many people who are in need of His help. Thank you once again. Very happy that Sudhesh is there with us. We want to welcome you to be able to teach us with us this morning.
Good morning. Thanks very much for inviting me to teach this Sabbath school lesson. So as we know that this quarter we are going through the facets of the family. We could look at them as seasons. And then today we are looking at the choices, so decision-making time. So I wanted to go a little bit from Thursday lesson, Thursday, Wednesday, and Tuesday. And then we would go back to some of the main topics. My intention was, since free will, power of choice, those are a bit more complicated, difficult topics. I thought I could put it at a particular time. We could give a lot more time to this. So firstly, I would like to establish kind of backdrop against which we could discuss. The backdrop is for any kind of decision making, do we need adequate information? We know that the outcome should be predicted, and for many, so the outcome should be predicted, and most of the time we need to have adequate information, and we also need to have some options for it. But having said that, life is not as easy as it comes. Life's challenges are far more difficult. And if we were to always say, okay, for example, if we do a particular thing, like if I take a particular, say, a career, what's the kind of outcome? So for me, my parents, my father actually, he wanted me to do something similar to what he did, and perhaps he thought what his brother's kids did, I also should follow. But eventually I ended up doing something else. But having said that, the challenge against decision making is far too severe, and I do not know if our church actually provides us adequate information on it. We don't look at life as really. The church is more involved in dogma presentation, belief system. But having a belief system, they are structured either to formulate a kind of a culture, subculture, or their interest is far more into having an indoctrinated people who respond likewise. Okay? So the first thing that when we are choosing courses, are there courses like, for example, many of my own, I grew up in Adventist denomination most of the time. We had almost like a close society. We married within, and even our careers also have fallen onto particular paths. Like you would not find many people who have done like an air hostess or a pilot. These days they do, but when we were growing up, those things were almost not there for us. Most of us are going towards people service-oriented careers. So I just want to throw out a question. Has anybody got in their teens any advice either from the church? Or did you have any structured way of advising which career path you should take? Anybody? Nobody? So, but you know that as an Adventist church, we do have a department that does actually lots of this family. They have a department of ministerial gentlemen or lady who would do, they are assigned the duty of family and probably something else to this family and health or whatever. But for many people, it has fallen on the wayside, right? So that's one difficulty we have. As a church, we have not matured enough to provide to our own kids, our own children. We are not providing them in a way either. We don't have a way to map them out and then say, this kid would be good for this would be good for that. So this thing, either it happens in a church environment, in a school environment, but actually when it comes to a church, I have never seen anybody sit down and tell me, you do this or do that. Right? So there is that gap, and a huge gap, especially for kids who are growing up within a church community. They find, I've got my cousins who say, I wish my kid could do something else, but I thought they're doing something that pleases them. And they also struggle trying to give them adequate support or information on what careers they're choosing and what's the outcome. Right? When you have children, did it become such a huge issue for you when you're trying to guide them to a particular path? For me it has become far more difficult for me because I didn't like being at a I try to get away from it. It's like I'm not looking at books. But when I went to college, I excelled in quite a few other things. And then computer is something I like, and then I moved. And then today I work on data science projects. So there's a sea change from where I began and then where I landed. Primarily because I didn't have the kind of insight. But actually there's something that I did for some of my cousins. And then I still remember one of my cousins, my uncle wanted his daughter to be like him and go back into the accounting. This is because he thought this is what accountants do. So when I gave the advice, no, you should go to computers, it's much better paying. And eventually he was very upset with me for almost a few years. But the sad part of that is he's not alive to see what his daughter is today. And then he would have looked at my decision and say, well, you did a good, you made a good decision for me, which I could not do at that particular time. So decision making is a challenge. I want to go a little bit deeper into what we consider as the paradigms for Christian decision making. So there are two forms. There's the natural life form and there's the spiritual life form. So if you look at Jesus Christ and what he has created, right? For example, this whole world is under the domain of the Prince of the Air. So when Jesus Christ came, if you have to understand really Jesus Christ, what he would do and what he would achieve, you can go to Isaiah chapter 9, chapter 60, and chapter 53. So chapter 9 will give you the birth, chapter 60 will give you what he would accomplish, and 53 is the depth, the significance of what death would achieve for us. So if you go to Isaiah 63, Isaiah 61, much of what God says, first thing he says is, he will deliver them from their clutches. So he will say that, I have come to set the captives free, right? So that's the paradigm that most Christians should enter. So Christ already delivered us certain things. Then what happens to us is, for us to have access to it, the requirement for us is belief or faith. Because in the Christian lifestyle, what happens is, when something natural overpowers you, you can still start gaining over it when you believe in the spiritual realm. Okay, what's the spiritual realm? Spiritual realm is the realm where angels, God, and everybody, even Christ lives there. So just to give you a little bit of introduction. So Adam was made a little bit lower than angels. Christ was born above angels. This is a very significant difference. So for the people who are natural, either you come into a church condition, you go to even Hinduism, other religions, you find that there is a kind of a cultural or there is a way how they would understand how a national life would be lived. Now we know from India, from ages, people have lived, used health principles, they've used horoscope to bring people together for weddings and all the other stuff. But whereas in Christianity, some churches do, Catholics do, but we have not gone into that deep insight to understand what are the amenities that are available for a Christian upbringing. And that's the biggest drawback that we find, and then at least at some point, I hope it is rectified. So against this backdrop of two different kinds of people, what people have achieved naturally is within the confines or within the domain of the devil. So it could include anybody. I mean, people have followed health principle like the Brahmins have been doing for ages. Right? Certain people in the Mesopotamian area, they do. And people again in Syrian and Israel area, they still have certain health beliefs that they brought in from ages. And that they still hold on to it. And then you see this as, they've seen their life expectancy go up. they found a way to deal with many of these things. And then India came up with yoga, the Chinese do their other traditional Oriental kind of things. But when it comes to the Christian people, there are very few people who actually follow an etiquette of either health. We do not the choice between the different kind of foods that we have. For us, there is still a natural Christian. But there is also a spiritual Christian who thinks that whatsoever happens in the natural cannot define who he is eventually. Right? Because in the spiritual realm, what happens is whatever Christ has achieved would then be delivered unto us. That's the reason faith is the most significant aspect of Christianity. Why faith? Because there is a gap between what happens in the natural. The devil can deliver something bad unto you. It can hurt you, it can manipulate your thinking. But in the spirit realm, when you believe that God has already dealt with the problem, then what happens is God tries to play with your life. So we struggle with this, and then most of Christianity, what kind of Christianity that is prevalent today is this Leonesian kind of form of Christianity. Where we mix truth and error, or we mix natural and spiritual life together. So if you look at what the difficulty of people during the time of Christ, the Jews, when they saw Jesus Christ, they could not accept him. Can you give me any reasons? Can anybody find a good reason why they were unable to accept Jesus Christ? You know, when he stepped into Samaria and he talked to the lady at the well, even when he gave her her sins, she said, "Look, the Messiah has come." But the erudite, and there are some pockets of people who said, "Are you the Messiah? Are you the Elijah? Are you this prophet, that prophet?" But what was the basic reason if you look at it? Because if you look at Jesus Christ's life, he came at a time of religious maturity within the Israel. They have a very structured form of life. And some preachers I heard when they said, there were many people who would have repeated or committed to memory the 5 books of the Bible who wanted Jesus Christ to be crucified. So what comes into your mind when you think about what's the basic reason that the Jews were unable to accept it? Can you think of something? I'm bringing this into context because many of our thinking is far too much centralized towards our own subculture rather than looking at what Christ contributed. And I'm trying to bring you into the realm of what Christ contributed. Somebody wants back?
The Jews were looking for a natural kingdom. Natural in terms of their own deliverance, thinking that they are exclusive to God. It was their natural way of thinking. It was to survive, to exist, and have what they wanted. But the spiritual kingdom had something to do with it, and yet it did not. The spiritual kingdom had to do with their inside the mind. And that they did not want to accept spiritually. Hence, they said, you know what? You have not yet upon me.
Interesting. Yes, but at the backdrop of, against the backdrop of the miracles that Jesus Christ was performing, it still become difficult for the Jews to accept.
They were satanic in what they believed. They knew who Christ was.
Okay,
But
that's,
they were involved in the political world. They were not involved in being healed spiritually. No, it's not their interest. For spiritual purposes, they went to the temple. When they left the temple, they were dealing with Romans. They had complicated dealing with Romans in many, many respects. So you had Matthew, who was a Jew, but he was connected with the Romans very deeply. Oh. So that is right. That's why they tolerated Matthew, thinking that somewhere along the way Matthew may be helpful toward establishing a physical kingdom, that the Messiah, no, they didn't consider God, Jesus to be Messiah.
yeah, but why would they disqualify him? I agree with what you say. Just want to take it to the next step. Why should they disqualify Christ? What is the most striking thing that they found, even from their religion, it could not capture Christ? I could give other examples, but just take a look at it. What is the pivoting point that made them tilt and they reject Christ?
Why do you reject me? Because of your traditions.
The traditions. Anybody else? Anything else not in their life? So what if Jesus Christ came like a thundering voice? What if Jesus Christ came like a prophet, saying this is what the God said, and if you guys do this, this is what's going to happen? You form an army. There's some kind of a disconnect. So the disconnect here is the Jews could not accept a God in the garb of a human form. Conversely, Christians are accepting Christ in the natural form, in the human form, but they cannot accept him in the spiritual realm. And both struggle to take a look at Jesus Christ and then say, this is the Messiah I'm looking for. Because because we are not trying to what happens in the spiritual realm. Even though all Christ's achievements are put into the spiritual realm and then delivered to us. So we struggle at this great divide. When we look at the Christian belief system, we try to harness human capabilities using religion. And that's the reason when in Corinthians when Paul writes, he says, but we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to the Jews. Why? Because it's a religion. And to the Greek, because they are thinkers, they are philosophers. So they consider, just like Hindu's word and the Chinese word, they would try to come up with saying, this is the best possible option in a given scenario. Right? Much of Hinduism goes on those levels. They say, this is the best time you need to take your family out for a picnic. I didn't realize this. So when I went to India the last time, they said, why are people, going to the beaches? They said, there's a strong belief. They say that if they took their family to a vacation, spend family time together, then it's going to bring more blessings into their life. So they have this kind of belief system that they had. So we're coming into Christianity. When we're looking at the very core of our decision making, unfortunately, much of our decision making is dependent on faith. Faith is a contrast to what is happening to you in the physical realm, to the realm that is spiritual, that is God-powered realm. That's the reason when, any given day, if you're living during the time of Jesus Christ 3.5 years, and you are trying to, track him down, one of the most famous messages he would be preaching at almost every place is repent and enter into the kingdom. The word repent actually means metanoia. That is, change your mind or shift to a higher paradigm. And this paradigm is the spiritual paradigm. And the kingdom, if you understand, from Isaiah 60, as soon as God entered his hometown, they gave him the book of Isaiah and asked him to read it. And the Lord reads the book of Isaiah, chapter 60. I actually, in my own study, when I look at it, I think that that's the day he cut the ribbon open for his kingdom. So what does he say? What does Isaiah 60 say? I just want to read a few verses here. Yeah, Isaiah 61 rather. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because He has anointed me and qualified me to preach the gospel of good tidings. So I'm reading from the, what version is it? This is the Amplified. So I want to go down to the, okay. So it says, to grant, I'm going down to verse 3, to grant joy to those people who mourn in Zion, to give them an ornament, a garland of diadem of beauty instead of ashes, oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of heavy burdenness, and failing spirit that may be called oaks of righteousness. And they shall rebuild the nation, the ancient ruins, and they shall raise the former desolations. Shall raise up the former desolations and renew the ruined cities, the devastation of many generations. So in this, I'm trying to focus more on what Christ did, so that when we are making decision, we are going down to the level of trying to access it. So this is in a little more different. Like when I'm doing my own work, what I do is we look at a particular set of events, and then we bring them together, we apply a statistical formula to it, and then say there is a probability of this particular instance occurring if these conditions prevail. So that's what I do. So from the basic thing that, for example, we say people like driving, working for a government project, so right now what we say is people who are driving a particular kind of car, if it has these amenities like automatic braking, and then we say what is the likelihood of these cars versus those who do not have this automatic braking system. So, but we measure them against different kind of conditions like their weather patterns or their age, how often they're driving, what is the drive time by them. We look at all these factors and then say, because of these things, we find that there is good evidence that a same outcome would be repeated if these factors exist. So most of our decision making, when we do it, we're looking for volumes of information that somehow would have like a packaged outcome, and then say we could choose this one. Suppose, for example, we want our, we might have grown up in an environment. At least I grew up in an environment which said having money was not so good, right? But we always tell our children to take the best course so that they could live a comfortable life. Even though we find our parents preaching in a different set of rules, but actually when they deliver it to us, they always say you do your best, and I will support you to do your very best. I normally think that whatever the situation is, a human being, blessing is the natural habitat for a human being. All of us know one thing, that we are under a kind of a curse. But we all want to go down to the next level where we can overcome the curse. And that's our major concern. So everything that is needed for life and salvation, Christ delivered to us. If you notice Isaiah 53, it says, the punishment that he took is for our well-being. Now I want to step to the next one, our power of choice. See, when you look at Adam, in what kind of circumstance was Adam put into? God created the whole universe, but then he created a Garden of Eden, replete with everything that is necessary for Adam. Is it true? Right? So whenever you talk about salvation, we need to go back to where we lost, but to a level higher, because Adam was lower than angels, devil could easily deceive him. But Christ delivered us to a level higher than angels, where the devil can only lie to you, but it can do nothing to you. Devil is a liar and a deceiver, but he can do nothing to the person who is the child of God. So that's the unique deliverance that Christ did for us. So in this paradigm, when you look at your power, your choices, your free will, as you were, right? When Adam and Eve were put into a place where they had all the amenities, but when we are born, are we put into a place where we have all the necessary things falling at our feet? Right? They are not. Our parents provide, they strive, they struggle to put things together so that they can raise a child. So this is a paradigm that is very unique to us in a sinful state. But what did Christ deliver here? If you think about your freedom of choice or your free will, what is the free will that exists in you? Can all of you think that, okay, I've got 3 children, I want all my 3 children to be doctors. So what would happen even if you struggle towards this goal? You always know that your children are not adequately informed of the benefits of doing something like this. Right? Versus children, versus parents who may not see how much of a struggle it is for them to actually become a doctor. That is one, right now people in this country are struggling a little bit. Primarily they say that the debt that they incur becoming a medical doctor is somewhere about $250,000 to upwards to $400,000. So there's this kind of a disconnect. So when we are trying to choose free will, there are packaged decisions. So do we think about packaged delivery of decision making, or are we so customized that we want this decision to be customized to each individual person? Where are our decisions? What is our basic technique that we have to make these decisions? Anybody struggle with this, or are they coming naturally to us? It's so difficult when we go through this one. So in the realm of power of choice, right? Even if you want to choose the best to your child, but the child is not privy to the outcome. So you need to force the child, even if you just put some vegetables on the plate, the child may not eat. The child would resist it. Right? But if you also think from the Christian perspective, from his word perspective, if everybody is told in a way that they could see, if they do not accept Christ, hell is the outcome. How many of us, or even Hindus or atheists, would then turn towards God? But why did Christ even put this paradigm into a human being? Because he cannot see his future. God can see, angels can see, devil knows what is going to die in hell. They all know. When it comes to human being, you're not privy to what is going to happen in the future. Your outcomes are highly uncharted. You don't know what your outcome will be. You don't know where your life is going to take. Right? So in this realm of not knowing predictable outcomes, what is your state of free will? I'm trying to contrast it against what Adam and Eve had versus what we have today. And then how much of it is control versus how much of it is free.
We have the same free will as Adam and Eve had. Exactly. There's no difference.
How many of you think the same way?
Let me get back to what you were speaking about. God gave free will, and that free will is literally free. Exactly free. And then you will to do what you think your mind is convincing you about. Once you are convinced about something, the choice becomes your free will. It's a concept that is connected. It's a bridge. It's a bridge between your natural world, that the world view, and the view of God. And yet, how are you going to get to know what your free choice, or what your free will and your choices should be, is based on you being connected with God through the power of the Holy Spirit. So this bridge becomes a very important aspect. You can have, you see, Satan used intellectualism, if you please, to convince people that you can have free will and you can do what you want, and apparently you're going to get to what you want.
Well, is that the whole question here? If we know that we could do something like that, so when we talk about free will, it is unfettered exhibition of what you want to do, you do.
Right?
So you want to fly, you fly.
But you have to learn to fly. You can't just get up and fly, can you?
But that's the thing, right? So the difficulty here is, under the curse, under the domain of the devil, many of us are spiritually discerned. That means we do not have, we can respond to a moral outcome. We can respond to like a denominational thinking. But when it really comes to life and death matters, we really don't have so much of a choice. Like for example, if you are thinking about what medical treatment that you can have, even for a person who is really, like, they have something difficult. The sickness is complex enough. How do you go there and then say which one is the best choice? You have your choices, all of them are not as good as health is. Health is gone from you. You are in a sickness. You are in its bind. Now you have alternatives. At that particular point, if you want to execute your freedom of will, what is it? You need lots of information. You need to see, if I choose this one, this is the outcome. If the outcome is not aligned properly, you cannot predict. There is a paradigm that we are in versus what Adam was. Adam is intellectually superior to us, but there are so many things that he was not clouded by what devil would do. Devil does not prompt him. But he also had the father. I normally say, when I say that Adam, the relationship between Adam and Christ is like this. It's like the mother and the child in its womb. In some form, the life form that came to Adam is not cut off from Christ. It was always there. So, just like the mother, if mother nourishes her son, the child also benefits from the same, and the child nourishes. And that's what's happening to what Adam was, and then God did not want him to be in the same states. Either you like it or difficult, sin played a role where God can bring his best also through it. And whatever the worst circumstance they could be, God still was able to do. So most of our decisions, when we are thinking about our own ability to freely discern what is right and wrong, are we clouded? Are we so clear about the outcomes? Do we hear the correct voice all the time?
No, we don't. And that is the problem. Unless you hear the Spirit of God and you have the counsel of God, you will 100% go wrong. I don't care whether you talk about a natural realm or you talk about a pseudo-spiritual realm or whatever. Or you talk about what you have learned intellectually by way of a degree or whatever. No. When God has not given you a certain ability, you cannot think of acquiring it. It does not happen.
So you also know this from a fact, that the carnal mind is in enmity to God. We find this in Romans chapter 8, verse 4 or 5. And that's the reason our difficulty, because look at it, I'm putting everything in the context. Because when Christ came, he came as a deliverer from whatever status you are in. Whatever the devil would have done, he's the only answer. He came in that kind of like a power. There's nothing that can hold him. There's nothing that can go against. Christ created something which is called as an invincible life to us. Even though in our flesh we might see something contrary. So that's the difficulty. Like when we are trying to make our decisions, much of the decision making is, if everybody knows when you die you're going to go to heaven, you would do everything that you want not to go there. If heaven is defined to you with your senses, you could do it. But the struggle with that is God did not deliver that kind of an understanding to a fallen mind or all the senses that we have. It's not like touching a hot plate and then saying, okay, this burns my skin, next time I'm not going to do it. God did not deliver hell and the consequences of sin at that level. If had he delivered that, most of us would have responded to it and then taken the right course. Now, that's the reason when we are talking lots of decision making about the paradigm, the difficult situation that we are in. Our concern here is how much of a confidence you have to put on Christ, because you know that Christ is the only invincible solution for the human life. Have you established Christ as the most paramount thing in your life? Right? We go to the first commandment. And I have 2 minutes? 5 minutes?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. So the most significant thing for a human, for a Christian is remove your problems, remove your status, remove your pain, remove everything that is going on in your life. Make Christ the number one. The way you do it is you believe whatever Christ said, even though your circumstances are contrary to it. That's the challenge. And you always know, unless the Spirit is given, the Spirit does not absorb the Word of God. What is the Word of God? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was made flesh. Word is a form of Christ. It has all the power to recreate things for us. And that's the reason Word becomes very significant. If God tells you something, He says, you're going through your worst trial, but He says, I have gone through it. Be cheerful, even though it's painful, you're cheerful. Right? You're not doing so many things, but you're operating in a belief system that transport you from your realm, current realm of pain or suffering, to a realm that is Christ dominated, where He can deliver something. But all our struggle goes here. We see something wrong, we try to take it into both our hands, we try to muscle it, we try to find a way to we can hold it and put it in our control. Where God says, leave it up. The actual meaning of Sabbath is that. What does Sabbath mean? Sabbath means rest. Rest from what? Rest from your struggle. Rest from your self-preservation and life form that has come to you because of the devil. God's basic, when you are doing your decision making, when you are doing your thinking about the major events of your life, you want to be decoupled, thinking that something could strike you, so you need to take a detour, recourse. Stand firm, because whom you believe, when you empty your own trust and then put it on somebody else, you're not as much worried about the outcomes. You're far more interested in whom you're going to trust. Trusting then is a very significant decision making for every Christian. Because in Christ, every promises in the Bible are true. In Christ, every battle can be won. And there's no if and but about it. Because He says, Son of Man has come to destroy the works of the devil. You find it in John 1 John 5. Everything that the devil has done, God has victory over it. But the only thing it does not become your experience until the time you believe that that is the truth. Whereas the experience within your senses, what you have, is always false. So this struggle when you're making your decision making, what is true, what is painful, what is your natural reaction, your instinct. Right? Nobody taught a mother to love the child. She didn't go to a school, nobody taught her, but she loved the child anyway. Not because the child would do something for her, but because but you want to do something for the child. So that's the same paradigm that we enter when we empty ourselves and put our complete trust in God and then say, I don't know the outcome. But you don't have to know because your mind deceives you. But you put your trust in God and then say, this would happen because God, always the outcome for God is predictable. The outcome for life and natural life is unpredictable. But the outcome with God is always predictable, even when bad happens. Because what happens in your flesh is not the ultimate. But what happens in the spirit is defined. It will define. If you believe that Christ has done enough so that He can define your life, redefine your life, then you would be just like Him when you wake up. Then every decision making that you take, the confidence that you get, the peace that you get, the rest that you get, everything will work together. But you have to trust something that is beyond you. Beyond you. It's the Word. And then you should take the Word and then take it as is. Just like a child word. The advantage is you will start to do it. Thanks. We'll have the Sabbath offering now collected. So, anybody has any questions? I'm just trying to give a different dimension for our free will. Because our free will is something that we think we can choose right and wrong at will. But there are so many constraints for us. Because we do not know the best outcomes, we do not know other things. So for us, in this realm, it's always difficult. But when you trust God, what is trusting God? How do we trust God actually? You know more about what He has done and what He has presented Himself to be. Okay? When you look at what Christ has achieved, that's the first thing you need to know. Secondly, what is His personality? What is His character? And what is the outcome? If God is loving, only loving things could happen to you, right? Just like the child, when the child lost the mother or the father, what happens? It is not itself at a stage where it feels a threat from its own parent. Because the child knows somehow the parents are going to do something good for it. So likewise, for us, always the challenge is to believe God in spite of what experiences we go through. And then once you believe, hold on. I'll offer a short prayer, and then we're done with this. Yes. Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for the wonderful love you have presented to us, and for the word that has come from the one who has generated life in our fallen bodies. Today, Lord, we beseech that presence as we go through this worship. May that Spirit bind us in the name of Jesus.